All right, we are here with Jasmine Moore, just graduated Mansfield Lake Ridge on her way to the University of Georgia. We are here on her left with Ychlindria Spears-Dolce, formerly of University of Texas, Luling High School. And notice between the two of them, we have two of America's greatest horizontal jumpers in high school history. And we're going to start with Jasmine. What we've done in this interview, we've asked them to prepare a couple of questions for each other. So we're going to start with Jazz. What is your first question for Ychlindria?
Take us through your recruiting process in the early 2000s. Like, who recruited you and what was it like?
Pretty much everyone that you can think of recruited me. Not even kidding. I had trash bags just full of letters, and I know it's probably very antiquated for you to think of, but it was just, letters coming, and, it got to the point where I was like, no more. But it was very humbling to know that so many schools wanted me to come and be a part of the program. So, yeah.
And why did you choose the University of Texas?
You know what, at the time, I had some really great track friends, like Sonia Ross, Ashley Williams was a great hurdler at the time, Sylvia Reed was a great sprinter, and we all went to Texas on a visit at the same time, which they knew what they were doing. And when I got there, it just felt right. Like, I just knew that this is where I was supposed to be.
Question for Jazz.
Okay. I am curious what your goal setting process was like, because I remember as an up-and-coming jumper, I used to write my goals on my mirror and look at them. So what was your goal setting process like?
Well, my goals just kind of changed as I've gotten older and I progressed. But I remember my freshman year, it was just to make varsity, and then like as the year got on, I wanted to medal at state. And then after probably my sophomore year, I wanted to be like the best in the long jump and triple jump, so I started working on long jump, and I wanted to get like the national record and started to state records and stuff like that.
Okay. And you talked a little bit about the recruiting process. It can be very arduous and stressful. How did you know that Georgia was the way?
Kind of similar to your story. They brought probably about 8 of us. It was like Anna, Aria, Matthew, Caleb on that visit, and he was like, this is what it can be. Y'all can win nationals, and y'all can improve and get better and reach y'all's goals. And for me, that was kind of it. Like, I just felt home, and I knew that they had a great coaching staff, and that's kind of how it was for me.
Yeah. Not gonna say that I'm sad that she's leaving Texas.
Ychlindria, when you set high school records in the early 2000s, there wasn't any social media. How did you handle the expectations placed upon you? And now that Jazz, in a world of social media, is about ready to go to college, what's your advice for her?
Well, back then it was all about the newspaper. If you got your picture and an article written in the newspaper, you were something. I think for me, though, I just was able to, I placed bigger expectations on myself than I feel like other people were able to, and I just kept my circle small. I would say heading into college, keep those people that love and genuinely support you around you, and you have to block out that outside noise, because at the end of the day, your parents and those close friends and family members, they want what's best for you, so it's more important to lean on them and just block out, the outside noise. So.
All right, Jazz, tell us the relief now of a wind legal jump that allows you to take over the #1 spot in Texas from Ychlindria, and actually moved you to #3 all-time U.S. high school as far as distance.
It's very exciting, and I know that I worked hard all 4 years to get to this point, so it just means a lot that I finally got a wind legal jump, because last year when I jumped that 45, people were just saying a bunch of stuff because it wasn't wind legal. So for me now to have that wind legal jump that I'm happy with and I'm proud of, it means a lot.
Ychlindria, do you remember your first state medal?
I don't remember my first state medal. I just remember my first set of state medals as a freshman. I was this little girl from a town of 5,000 people, and I remember going to state and walking away with 4 gold medals, and people were like, who is this girl whose name we can't pronounce? And I just remember walking around with my medals clanking, and I just thought, like, wow, like, this is the greatest feeling. So I don't remember my exact first medal, but I do remember that first experience at state. Yeah.
How about yourself, Jazz?
I remember my first state medal 4 years ago, and it was the triple jump, and I remember it was at nighttime, and I wasn't really expecting to win because, I don't know, I was just there just to be there. I was excited, and I remember winning, and I jumped a 42.2, and yeah, it was exciting.
The two of you are two of the more decorated, accomplished horizontal jumpers in U.S. history. Ychlindria, how did you get started?
I actually got started with elementary field day. I remember my coaches explaining to me how to triple jump. They're like, "You want to try this?" And I'm like, "Sure." So they explained it to me on the runway, and I ran down and jumped like 27 feet. And I just remember them being like, "What is going on?" Like, she's, you know, this little elementary kid jumping really far. And one of the coaches took his hat off, and he's like, you know, just going crazy. So I didn't have like a gauge of how good that was, but I knew from their reaction that it was pretty cool. So, and then my dad built me a runway and sand pit in our yard, and I used to run and jump, and he'd be like, "Try to touch the trees," you know. So those were kind of my first experiences with jumping. Yeah.
How about yourself?
I started long jumping in the 7th grade because my mom jumped out Florida State back in the day. And then I tried triple jump because we needed more points in middle school. And the boys kind of taught me how to triple jump. And I think I jumped like 36 or 37 feet in 8th grade. And everyone was like, "Wow, like, you're kind of good at that age." So that's where I started out.
Jazz, I'm going to start with you. Pinpoint a moment where you can look back and say, "Hey, I can be a great jumper. The long jump and triple jump, these are my events." Pinpoint a moment back where you can say that.
Probably going into high school. I won triple jump at JO's, and I had broke the national age group record, and then I had won long jump. And that's kind of where I was like, I need to stick with this. If I keep working hard, then I can do something with it.
And what about for you? When did that moment arise where in your mind you knew, I can be pretty special at this?
Same kind of story. It was with AAU. I remember jumping as an 11-year-old, and I jumped like 16.9, and there was this boy that was standing there watching, and he like went over and ran to his friend and was like, "This girl just jumped 16.9 and she's 11." And I'm like, "Oh, I guess that's pretty good." And so I think from that moment on, I knew like, okay, I have something special going on. Yeah.
Ychlindria, you've seen Jazz jump. What makes her so special?
I've thought about this actually, and I think what makes her special is that when I was watching her jump, she has God-given talent, right? We can't take that away from her. She's obviously worked very hard and the work ethic over the last several years, but it was more of her focus. And like when she was coming down the runway, she knew that she was going to jump far, and it was just that confidence that you exuded, and you didn't let anything get to your head, right? Because the crowd is like so into it and you're so engaging, but you had your own goals and you stayed focused. And I was like, okay, like she's got something that other young jumpers don't have. It's those intangibles that I feel like you have, yeah.
Jazz, you have Olympic dreams on top of obviously success at Georgia. What is going to take you to that next level?
I think the little things will probably take me to the next level, just as far as like eating and sleeping. And I know at Georgia, the weight training will be different and the workouts will be different, and all will have workout partners to train with. So I feel like just the little things that I'm probably not, like I didn't do in high school, will help me get to the next level.
Have you talked with Katura Urgi, the former Georgia triple jumper? Has she given you any advice?
I've talked to her a little bit, but not just kind of stuff outside of track, not really as far as what's going to be, what I'm going to be doing when I'm in Georgia.
Gotcha. Ychlindria, you now coach in San Antonio. You run your own jumps facility. So how is the new venture going?
It's definitely been a blessing. I know that I personally feel like God was speaking to me and wanting me to do this for a long time, and I kind of felt like He's gonna, pay to come and have me coach them and this kind of thing. But it has been the best thing that I've ever done. Just being able to pour into other young jumpers all of the knowledge and experience that I have, and it's just been amazing. We celebrated a year in January, and I look forward to all the things we're going to accomplish this year.
Jazz, what are your professional goals once the athletic days are over? A long time from now, but...
I've been thinking about this kind of a lot recently just because I'm trying to focus on my major, but Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards like either like sports marketing. I would like to do something with that, working with like other companies and other professional athletes. That would be fun for me. Or I'm thinking more of like environmental science, just, I don't know, into the environment.
Did you ever consider not jumping since cheer, competitive cheer, was such a passion of yours? You're a national champion in competitive cheer.
Yeah, there's times where I was like, oh, I don't want to go to track practice. I'd rather just go tumbling and stuff like that. But when it came down to reality of like, especially like who's going to pay for college and stuff, track won. And now I'm happy I've made that decision to focus on track. So.
All right, Jazz, I'm going to start with you on this one. You're on the runway, so I'm going to ask you to step back from the camera in just a second. Show us your routine and how this routine started. What goes in your head when you're on the runway? Because I know you've got this big hawk-like appearance.
Okay. Is this good?
That's good.
Okay. I kind of just go down like this and just try to get in rhythm and just try to focus on what I'm about to do as far as my first couple of steps. So it's just kind of like this, and I don't really have a certain number that I push back on, but whenever I feel like good, that's whenever I just take off and I run and focus on my runway.
Is there anything that goes through your mind when you're on the runway, or is it just all second nature at this point, so you just go ahead and fly?
I just kind of tell myself I can do this, because in the back, I mean, it's just you by yourself, so I just kind of try to motivate myself and just try to, I tell myself a couple cue points that I need to do whenever I'm jumping.
Ychlindria, what about for you when you were on the runway, be it long or triple? Did you have a specific routine, or did you also tell yourself psychologically? Did you visualize? What went through your head?
Very similar to hers, actually. I just would step back and let my fingers dangle, and I kind of, sprinkle my fingers. I feel like it was some magic in the finger twitching. For me, it was just like, okay, I'm ready for business, and it would just kind of block out what was going on in the crowd, and I would just focus on, okay, when I hit the board, I'm just gonna go. It wasn't really, I didn't get super technical in my mind. It was like, okay, you know what to do, go do it,
All right, well, we are looking here at the former Texas record holder in the triple. We are looking here now at the new Texas record holder in the triple. Jazz, with the understanding that it's someday that record will be broken, you'll have to pass the torch. What would you like, both of you, your legacy in track and field to be?
Jazz.
Hopefully that I have, because Texas track and field is such a big deal, so hopefully I have been one of the best, along with other many people, to have done it in both long and triple, and just have been consistent over the years.
Definitely just to have been a pioneer for the horizontal jumps in Texas, especially now there are great jumpers emerging, and seeing Jazz come on the scene, I liken it to, I'm Tina Turner, she's Beyonce, she's like the new refreshed version, and we're still both queens, but she's still in the show right now, and that's awesome. And yeah, so just that I was a pioneer for track and field and horizontal jumps for sure.
All right, Tina Turner, we have a question for you. So Beyonce here is about to head to college. You've already been through college, D1 at University of Texas, so you understand the parameters, you understand the grind that comes with big time D1 athletics.
Yes.
Before she heads off, what advice can you give her? What is she about to, what kind of world is she about to enter?
It's about to become a full-time job, but it's nothing that you can't handle. Just keep God as your anchor. And like I said, keep that small unit of your support system around you. And there is nothing that you can't tackle, be it injury, be it, you know, maybe you didn't perform at this meet like you had imagined, or maybe you go and you kill it. And no matter what it is, just keep God at the forefront and just know that you can conquer anything.
And Jazz, you are pretty well grounded. You've had parents that obviously were college athletes. You've spent a lot of time around people that have come before you, like Ychlindria. What is your proudest moment of your high school career, and what are you looking forward to the most collegiately?
My proudest moment in my high school career would probably be my junior year, whenever we won state as a team. Just because winning as a team, winning by yourself is fun, but just having everyone there with you to celebrate as a team, that's so much fun to me. And then I'm probably looking forward to my college career, just being surrounded by people who all have the same goals as me and who all want to win NCAAs and want to go to the Olympics, and just being together as a team as well.
And the great thing is, Ychlindria performed at University of Texas. Your freshman year, the NCAAs will be back at the University of Texas. So hopefully all your fans here in Texas will get a chance to cheer for you at least one more time on what's basically your home turf. Ychlindria Dulce, Jasmine Moore, two of America's greatest horizontal jumpers right here, are now bequeathed Tina Turner and Beyonce. We thank you for your time, and Jazz, we look forward to great things from you at the University of Georgia. Hopefully all your dreams, including the Olympics, come true. And we know if you ever need any advice, you can go to Ychlindria and the Jumps facility down in San Antonio. She'll always be willing to help you out.
That's right.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank